Welcome to the I Am Rodism podcast. Today we have a special guest in the building. Actually, we're in her building. This is where I recorded my first podcast. It's at a coffee shop called Halcyon. They gave me the opportunity to record. I really like this place. I was introduced to it from a friend of mine that is from Morocco. I'm originally from Montreal, Canada, so we came here to practice our French. And when he brought me here, I was like, this place is very cool. I like the vibe. They play good music. The art is very nice in here. People are friendly. They got a great menu. So we're going to talk to the general manager that's been the general manager for 5 years, half a decade. All right. So we're going to get into her, get to know her, and find out more about the coffee shop. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce none other than Amanda Campbell in the building. Okay, Amanda. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you for giving me this opportunity. Not everybody takes the opportunity or allows me to have the opportunity. So I appreciate this. So what made you want to do this? Have an interview. It's your first one, right?
Yeah, it's like my first one. Yeah. No one's ever asked. So it sounds like podcasts are the wave of the future. My other manager records one every week for books or something. So
oh, he does?
Yeah.
Oh, is it he or she?
He.
He.
Yeah.
You ever watch?
I haven't.
You need to. Need to see what he's doing, you know? But podcasting is just a way for people to talk about whatever they want to talk about.
Yeah.
And this is why I like it, because I used to always get in trouble at work because I'm always talking. They're like, look at him over there. He's not even working. He's talking.
There's some baristas like that.
You know? And I always get in trouble. But then I got a job before this one where I was a solar consultant. And I was paid to talk to people and make sales. And it was like, man, I should have done this a long time ago because I like talking to people.
Yeah.
So, Amanda, I'm going to find out, where are you from?
I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, originally, actually. Born and raised.
When you say born and raised, until what age?
Till 18, till I moved off to college. My family still lives there.
Oh, you're the only one out here?
Oh, yep.
Wow. So you came here for college, obviously.
Yeah, I went to UNT.
Okay. And
never left.
when you went to UNT, before you got there, did you think you were going to go back to Albuquerque when you were done?
Oh, no, definitely not. I thought I was going to go to California. When I first got here, I really wanted to go to California. And then now I'm like, oh, God, no. And then I think I wanted to move to Austin at some point, and I definitely don't feel drawn there anymore either.
Okay.
I don't know, I feel like everybody's always like trying to move, but I'm like, I just bought a house here. Got a successful restaurant. I'm pretty happy here.
So what made you go from like wanting to go to California and like wanting to go to Austin, and then you said, no, I want to stay here in Dallas? What made Dallas the place for you to decide that?
I think that generally people are drawn to places where they want to feel more comfortable, and there's more like things that are, things they like to do, or more people like them. They want to move there. Everyone always says Austin's the most like Albuquerque here, but it's like, well, I already did that. I'm already from that. And I don't know, I feel like Dallas is very like convenient, and there's like all walks of life here, and there's just a lot of opportunities here, and it used to not be very expensive either too. Right. I feel like it still is a lot more affordable than a lot of other places, but I feel like it needs people here that want to bring great change to it. Like I feel like I want to be here to help bring more of an Austin vibe, more of an Albuquerque vibe, Maybe we got enough Californians probably, but
right. What is an Albuquerque vibe?
I guess you're in solar consulting, so more people that are more green and more energy conscious and more, like I'm trying to convert my yard into a native landscape, instead of just having a green lawn. I'm trying to like convert it to a prairie, and you know, like I want to be the restaurant that's like trying to use recycle. You know, we recycle. We always have, and
Nice.
it can be hard, you know, when there's not a lot of other people around you doing that. But I mean, yeah, it would be easier in Colorado, but they're already doing that. They've already got a lot of people doing that. So it's like, I guess the be the change you wish to see.
I
sort of
like it.
scenario.
I really like that. That is good because you know, when I lived in Hawaii, and we'll get into you going to visit Hawaii, it was different there. It was more of what you're talking about, going green, you know, things like that. So in Texas, I moved here 2 years. No, I moved to Texas 2.5 years ago. Been in Dallas for about a year and a half, and you know, we definitely need that change. And I think so. Is that why you got into this business as being, you know, because if I feel like with what you're talking about in this place, it kind of fits together.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess growing up in Albuquerque, it's kind of just instilled in you, like, to save water and to recycle. And it just, yeah, everybody is already like that. And then, I don't know, I was a host. My first job, I was a host at the County Line Barbecue in Albuquerque. And, you know, I wanted to work in a nursery, like a plant nursery, but my mom's like, you need to be more social and you're bubbly and you need to be around people. So I got the host job, and then, you know, and then it was like a job for college, and, you know, I always thought it'd be something I would get out of. Thought I'd go into consulting or do something else. But I mean, I graduated in 2008 when all the markets crashed. So I couldn't get a job anywhere. And then, so I just kept working in a restaurant, and then finally I asked one day, and they were like, yeah, we were just waiting for you to ask. So I became a manager. And then I guess even in college or at the master's level, I got like a free like career consulting, and like it was like, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I went through this whole long process, and then it just led me right back to being a restaurant manager. So I guess it's just...
How did you get a free consulting?
It was from one of the yoga studios I went to in Carrollton. I don't think it's there anymore. I used to live in Louisville, but yeah, I mean, it was like you would enjoy being a buyer, but it really just brought me back to being a manager. And I guess just I had already worked in a restaurant for so long, and I know them so well.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, it's never a dull moment for sure. Like, I can't even imagine having a desk job anymore.
Right. Why? Because you like to move around? You like people?
I like to move around. I think I like people. Some days I wonder, but no, I like people.
Right.
And yeah, especially Halcyon, there's just so many aspects. Like, we're a coffee shop and a cocktail bar and a restaurant. So coffee was a new avenue for me, but I've already been in full service restaurants. And
do you think that because you were talking about they asked you to be a manager, or they were waiting for you to ask, so it seems like responsibility is something that you enjoy. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's nice to walk away from it and go to Hawaii too, but
but you said when you went away to Hawaii, you got homesick and you wanted to come back.
Yeah, by like day 9. Yeah, I mean, it's a work home. It's a home away from home for me too. And I mean, home is quiet and peaceful, and I get away from it. But yeah, I mean, this is like the community. This is the Lower Greenville community here, and
I'm glad you said community. That's a big word I learned
in Hawaii.
Well, I learned I was enjoying it in Hawaii, but I didn't know what it was. And then I got here, and then, you know, I just understood community more, because whenever you're going to the same place, you see the same people, you feel comfortable, you feel invited, you feel supported. You know, that's all community, but I didn't realize that's what it's called. I know it just feels good. So community is something that is big. And is that something that you is that part of the reason, like, because you started 5 years ago here, you opened up the shop, and you said to yourself, 5 years and I'm moving on to something else. Well,
yeah,
you were thinking about it.
I would give it 5 years. I just I don't know. I know a lot of people move around a lot, but I don't like to move around a lot in jobs. I like to really, like, be tenacious and stick it through it, especially in restaurants. Like, it can get it can be really tumultuous, and it can wear you down. It can be just a lot thrown at you. Like yesterday, the power was out, and we had to deal with that. And then we got all back and up and running, and then the power went out when we had the whole place full and a line around the block. So it's just you never know what you're gonna get. So it's not for everybody, but
So what makes someone like you able to handle that? Because a lot of people would break down, stress, lose it.
Yeah.
What makes you like keep going, and what is it that you have that maybe somebody else may not have?
I don't know. I guess never thought about it, but I guess my parents just instilled that strong work ethic in me, and I just I don't like to give up easily, and this place definitely requires, like, you just got to keep sticking with it. And I always tell myself, like, you make a lot of people really happy. Like, when having a rough day or a rough time, it's like, okay, this person was really upset about whatever it was, but I'm always like, yeah, but you make so many other people so happy. And then, like, I really like Halcyon because we try to always be open, and we're always like that beacon of light, like, especially when there's like crazy weather or something going on. Like, we always are usually blessed to have power, and even across the street they won't have it, and we'll be that place that people are like, oh, I can still go there and I can get a coffee. Like, coffee is very soothing for a lot of people. I guess it's just the hospitality spirit is wanting to serve others and delighting and taking care of others. And I guess I just have that really nurturing personality.
You do. Do you have children?
I don't.
Okay. Are you married?
I am not.
Okay. So these are your children, and this is your marriage.
Yes. Yes.
So you put it all in here. What I like about this place is I like brick walls, first of all. So that looks like an old brick wall.
Yeah, they had to hand sand every single one of those bricks. It actually had a lot of paint on it. It was it was the original Cafe Brazil before. It was like purple and green, and they had to sand every brick down, and there used to be a fireplace over there.
Did you know it was going to look like that when they were done?
No. I was hired during the construction process, and it was pretty dusty, and they hadn't even started when I was hired, so I've been in here before all of this.
So you had to do all the hiring and everything, right?
Oh yeah, everything.
Yeah, that's and when on Saturdays and on Sundays you guys have a special breakfast or something?
Yeah, I mean, it's Dallas, so we do brunch,
Brunch.
I get some people that are like, I've been to your other locations, but they're not like this. I'm like, well, this is Dallas. Dallas likes to brunch, so.
What do you think separates this place from, I don't know, Starbucks or other coffee places? What is it that this place has?
Well, we do try to have more local products and more, like, we buy from lots of local bakeries, and like Katz it's not local Dallas, it's in Houston, but it's been a partnership with a company for 20 years. They're a moderately large coffee place, but they're a smaller company too. They've grown with us over the years, so they've it's been a good bond. But so we try to have not maybe the best of everything. Like, I feel like Houndstooth is like, the coffee is their thing, and that's what they do, and they're trying to have the best of the best. And we're trying to have like everything be like as amazing as possible, and generally everything like very good. And we do this huge menu, and we have a full cocktail bar, so it it can be hard to be the very best at every single little thing, but we try our best, and
no,
and
definitely.
be as scratch as possible. Even the other stores, I don't think they make their chai from scratch, but I'm a big chai drinker, so we started making that from scratch pretty early on.
Gotcha.
It's kind of cool over the years. The more and more we can make things from scratch, the more and more we do so. Like the bar, will be like, we want to make our Bloody Mary mix from scratch, and it can be hard to keep up with those kinds of things.
What was I going to ask you?
That's something like a chain restaurant would the bigger you get, the more you have to really standardize things. And we're not going for that. We're like, hey, we're at this local level. Let's be as awesome as we can be at this local level. And we're not trying to grow and grow and grow and grow to more locations.
The local, that's something I learned because when I first moved to Texas, I moved to Waco.
Mm-hmm.
My cousin lives over there, and they have something called the East Side Market. And I was able to interview one of the co-founders. And they were as a matter of fact, he has his own coffee business that he started, and he was explaining that. But he talks about the locals and catering to the locals. That's part of the community, and that was cool to hear because there's things I don't really pay attention to. I know I like things I don't know why I like, but he's like, he's like, it's cool if other people from out of town come, but our focus is the locals because that's what's going to sustain your business and the relationship.
Yeah, and that's why all the Halcyons have very different menus. Or I mean, they're similar. Like we're going for the same type of cuisines and the same, like they say hipster millennial they're going for, but at the same time, like Dallas is very different than San Antonio and Austin, and like the things they do there don't necessarily work here, and so we have a lot of flexibility to be like, well.
But what is that it doesn't work here? Like because each area is different. So how do you know that something won't work somewhere else?
Right. Well, a trial and error, I guess. Because I mean, like when we first started, we had like all these beers that were like they carry at the other stores, like, and the only one we had that was local here was like Dallas Blonde, and over time we've just had to evolve it to what fits best for us. And I'd say a lot of it's like about the supply too, like there's very different suppliers for a lot of things up here than down there, but people have different preferences. Like I mean, we do smoked salmon on the avocado toast, which is just what we originally put on the menu, but they do like prosciutto in Austin, and sometimes it's just like it didn't work well at the other location, so this was the newer one. It was like, we're going to try something different there, and it worked really well. Or
have you been to other Halcyons?
Yeah.
Like all of them?
Yeah.
I think there's 4, you said, or 5?
Yeah, there's 4 altogether. There used to be more in California, but those are gone.
Oh, those are gone. Okay. And why did you go to those other ones? Just to visit, or is it like everybody at Halcyon has to have a big?
This one wasn't open all the way. They were still doing construction, so I like trained at those. I trained in San Antonio for a while. I trained in the Austin one for a while, or one of the other ones. The 4th one, the Austin one, that one wasn't open yet. That one opened after this one, but it was cool to get you get the culture feel of like, this is what we're going for. This is what the Halcyon feel is, but. I always, like in Asia, they always say same, but different. Like that's very about the Halcyons. We're all the same. We're the same people. We chat with all the other GMs and my boss all day, every day, and the owners. But at the end of the day, like we are different though. Like,
what is the plans for the future of Halcyon? What is next? Because you half a decade, you've done a lot.
Yeah.
Where can you go, or where are you? Where's the vision?
Yeah, we've talked about it some like in summer of 2020 because that was I think a turning point for a lot of people. Like, I know one of their stores, they thought about closing it down, but for some reason they are very dedicated to the newer one in Austin. I think because that area is just about to explode, so they just keep waiting. But I mean, they have offered me like my boss's job. She's trying to sell her house right now. She's in Austin and move to Belize. But I really don't want to move to Austin, like, because it would be like 3 of the 4 stores are in the Austin, San Antonio area, and I used to really want to live down there, but I bought a house here 3 years ago. Yeah. So, and I mean, this is my community up here, and I don't know anybody down there.
We don't want an Amanda that's not happy. We want you happy.
I know my parents were like, that's a good opportunity for you. And I'm like, yeah, but that's leaving the restaurant level too. That's going up to the director level. And I don't know, I really enjoy being at the restaurant level, I think, most of the time. Some days you're like,
I think it's important to follow how you feel versus what other people think you should be doing.
Man, I learned that a lot when we first opened. There was so many people who are like, you know what you should do, you know what you should do, you know what you should do. And I finally was like, we're going to do what I think we should do. But it's cool that we're very like open communication in the company, and like it'll be like, hey, I tried this here and it worked so well, like, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna try it, and they're like, oh, that didn't work here, or maybe it was a good idea all around. But
it seems like for you, just by talking to you, that you're real laid back, you're easy to talk to. However, if you get pushed, if something gets on your nerves enough, they're gonna feel you.
Yeah, I'm a redhead.
Is that something about?
I don't know. That's what people say, but they were all fiery. But I mean, yeah, I'm a manager at the end of the day. It's kind of funny. Like there is, like, yeah, that's my normal personality. Is I'm pretty chill and laid back and everything. But there is manager Amanda that you have to click into like this. This is what we're doing right now. There was a lot of that yesterday. Or I remember when I had a roommate. She was like arranging the fridge, and I just like it came out, and I was like, put this over here and put this over here, and then do this like this, and then she was like, oh my god. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, my manager Amanda just came out. But
right.
I think the older I get, they just merge together. But to answer your question, the owners are open to me supporting me to open something else. I don't know if it would be another Halcyon. I would really like to do like a vegan concept. But I don't know. Every time I actually get the time to sit down and work on a concept, it's it kind of just turns into Halcyon on paper again.
Right. Are you a vegan?
Yes.
Ooh.
I just had my 11 years on September 1st.
Wow.
Yeah.
A vegan for September 1st.
They actually, a cat came out of the bag after they hired me. They were thinking about not hiring me because I was a vegan. It's kind of something you try to hide because they think you don't know how to run a restaurant. But I mean, I haven't been a vegan forever. But
is that like a common thing?
Yeah. This job and the job before, I tried to not bring it up and not talk about it. But it's pretty like mainstream and. That's
funny. That'd be funny if they ask you in the interview, are you a vegan? Because that's wrong.
It was, and it was like the company bar manager that was helping open all the stores. She was a vegan and was like, it doesn't matter. That doesn't mean she doesn't know how to run a kitchen. And now they're always like, you have the best costs in the company. How do you do it? How do you know how to run? The best what? The best costs, like cost of goods sold.
Oh.
So it's like, how do you know how to run a kitchen so well? I'm like, because I ran a kitchen for many years. I was a kitchen manager for a long time. Like,
yeah, that's great. That's great that you're such an asset, man. Because whenever people want to give you things, money, positions, opportunity, it's a good feeling, right? It's a good feeling to be wanted and appreciated.
Yeah.
So, half a decade in, what do you see yourself doing with Halcyon if you decide to stay? What's the next?
I guess.
Do you maintain or do you do something different? Are you challenging yourself more?
I haven't felt not challenged yet. It's always like still can be very challenging. And just when I'm like, oh, I might actually get bored. What am I going to do next? Something crazy happens, like, I don't know, storm knocking out everything, you get behind a couple weeks, or you lose someone that's, like, really does a lot for you, and then you have to cover for them, and it's kind of a big process.
Right now I'm going to online school for Full Sail University, and it's like an art school and stuff. And one of our questions in our assignments was it had something to do with getting support and who supports me, like where do I go for support, something like that. And I was like,
it's a big.
It's like I don't ask for help much, and I know support is good, a support system. So I'm asking you because you sound really strong, right? Do you have a support system?
Yeah, you have to. I mean, sometimes yes, I can feel very alone because the two of the owners are in Austin, one of them is in California and Costa Rica, and then so it can feel very like, oof, I don't have anybody, but I feel like I have from college you get really good friends in college. I guess that's that age that you bond with. So I've got those people I can talk to. I've got a friend that I hang out with once a week, and I have some nice cats, and I feel like my house really helps support me, but But I have like a really, really, really great staff. And I mean, it takes time to build that, and then had to start all over in 2020. But even yesterday
You
was
had to
just
start over because everybody before 2020 had to go?
yeah, I had to let everybody go, except for like 2 people because, I mean, we had to shut down to goes. And
Yeah.
we just let everybody go so they didn't have to fight unemployment. So
Sure.
they could get unemployment faster.
Sure.
And some people have come back from before then. So there are some long-term people. Like the bartender right now has been with me for basically the whole 5 years. I mean, he was gone for a little while. Oh, here he comes. He's coming around over there. His name's Jose.
Oh, the guy with the thing on his head?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
He's been with you 5 years?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I mean, with the COVID break and
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
that
And one of my cooks back there, she's been with me basically her and her husband have been with me the whole time. They got really sick last December, and they were out for 3 weeks, and it was rough. We were
felt the impact.
closing earlier and everything, but I think my staff's my biggest thorn in my side, but my biggest support system at the same time. I mean, yesterday it was like just a crazy, crazy day, and like people weren't even scheduled, and were just coming in to help. Like, well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna mop the floors. Well, like there was.
they volunteered to come in and help?
They just came in and started working. Like, they just came in and started mopping the floors. I had, like, the bartender we were just talking about, he went in the back and just started washing dishes in the dark. All my cooks, like, finished all the food, and they just cooked it all in the dark because we still had gas. I mean, it was just like, wow, what team gets this done? Usually it just turns into chaos, but everybody really knows how to, like, I guess since we've been through so many brunches together, everybody knows how to just, like, lock down and get it done when we go into like survival mode.
I'm going to say that another word, we said community. The other C word that you have just by that story and by this guy being here 5 years and husband and wife is that culture. Mm-hmm. You have culture.
Oh, yeah.
There's a culture here.
Oh, yeah.
And that is a good story about what culture is people coming in to help, to support each other, to get the job done, when they don't have to.
Yeah. I guess I always try to lead by example. I'm a very like participatory manager, and I don't know, I just hear so many GMs that like the staff don't even hardly know who they are. They never see them, and I'm always like, am I doing this wrong? Am I just like way overextending myself? What am I doing wrong here? But that's just not my style. Like, if there's dishes that need to be washed, or if there's a bottleneck somewhere, if there's, I can jump in literally anywhere, and I can do every job, and I love that.
I think people respect that when you see, when I was in the Marine Corps, and, you go to boot camp, and whatever the drill instructor's asking you to do or telling you to do, they're not asking you to do anything. But you're running, jogging, you're doing push-ups, sit-ups, you're doing everything, pull-ups. They're doing it right beside you, and they're doing more than you.
Ah, that's interesting. I didn't know that. But
yeah. They're not just yelling at you. Like, we're running 5 miles. They're yelling at us, running with us.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Right?
Yeah, that's totally
so
my
it's
style.
like you have nothing but to respect that because they're doing the same thing we're doing and more. You're not just washing dishes. You're running the whole show.
Yeah.
That, nobody knows what you do behind the scenes.
Yeah, my staff was, I think they were saying the other day, they were like, we don't know what Amanda does, but I think she does a lot, though. And I'm like, that's correct.
No, that's good. That's good. Let me ask you about the music.
Okay.
Because I learned, like when I come here and everybody's doing their work, there's music playing.
Yeah.
And then I learned I just learned this like this week. There's certain parts of your brain that you can't do two things at once. Like that's like when you go reverse your car in a parking space or something, people turn down the music, right? Because they need to focus on backing up.
Yeah.
But when you're driving, you can have the music. But when you're backing up or you're looking for a house, you need to turn on the music because part of your brain that you need to do that, you can't do two things at once.
Yeah.
So you can't really listen to, well, this is what it says, a music with words, but this has words, but this is for some reason, maybe it's off in the distance, that I'm able to focus more on the work that needs to be done. So the music. So I was going to ask you, the music, I hear hip-hop, I hear
Yeah.
And everything. I hear everything.
Well, that goes back to my awesome staff. I mean, I pay the jukebox fees with a mood mix Pandora or whatever. I have like a line in to like a default thing that can get used. But honestly, they like to go in and pick it. And I'm like, go for it. As long as it's like appropriate. But I haven't had any problems in years about it. I mean, sometimes when we come in the morning, it's like, whoa, this is not right for the morning or something. But they love to pick it, and I'm like all about it. I'm like, sure, go right ahead. So they all have the Sonos app, and they can go in and pick what they want. So that's awesome to hear. You know, in a job where I have to do 5,000 things a day, to hear that one thing that I'm not even having to deal with is amazing.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Speaking of music, I saw you up there when I first met you, up there fixing the speaker because there was no music. I was like, where's the music?
So is the Wi-Fi. Yeah, the music doesn't work if the internet's not working, unfortunately. But so yeah, that was weird yesterday. There was no music in here. But
now let me ask you: you went to Hawaii like a month ago, right? That was not you went to different islands before, but that was your first time on the Big Island.
That was my first time on the Big Island. Yeah.
And that's where your friend lives.
Yeah, she used to live on Oahu, but she lives on Big Island now.
You know her from Texas.
Yeah, we worked at a Olive Garden together 20 years ago.
So when you went out there to go visit her, she was like, "Why don't you stay?" Right? Like,
yeah,
why don't
every
you?
time.
Right? Do you see yourself? Can you see yourself living in Hawaii?
I hope so. I mean, I think that was my 5th time going, and I love being there. But I always wonder, like, I guess how disconnected I would feel from the community that I have here. And I guess I feel bound to a lot of the community here. Like, no, I take care of them. I have to be there and I take care of them. But I mean, I guess, there's a community there too. And my friend was like, no, Hawaii is not inviting. You're not original. It's like Austin. No, you're not original. And I'm like, I don't think that matters. Like, I don't get that vibe. But I mean, I feel like everybody always needs to eat, and people are always going to want coffee. So, maybe there could be a Halcyon there someday.
Ooh. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
So the more time you spend, how long you been in Dallas?
20 years. It's 2002. Yeah, I graduated in 2002. So yes, 20 years.
20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So you're basically, what is a Dallasonite?
Yeah, I've been here longer. Yeah, I've been
longer
in
than you've been in
Albuquerque.
Yeah. When you go back to visit, is it really different because you've been here so long that people in Albuquerque that haven't left, they kind of like...
Yeah. Oh, they've accepted it now. It used to be like making fun of me saying y'all or like my best friend would introduce me as like, this is Amanda from Texas. And I'd be like, no, I'm from here. Like, I'm from Albuquerque. But now I'm like, yeah, I am Amanda from Texas. Like, yeah. I mean, I feel like when you leave Texas or Dallas, people are always like, why do you live there? And it's always hard for me to like convey it to them. I got to like come up with a better spiel. Because they're not here. They don't understand. I'm like, but there's good people everywhere, just because you don't agree with like political views in a place doesn't mean that it's a terrible place to live. But
since I've been in Texas, I know that people, when I meet people that move to Texas, I remember one guy said to me, he's like, hey, people that move to Texas die in Texas. People love Texas, and when they move here, the majority of people like want to just stay here, and not go anywhere. I've been here 2 years, no, 2.5 years. I like Texas; it's cool, but I could live anywhere. I lived in Florida, Hawaii, I'm from Canada, but maybe because being away so far from the beach, this is my first.
Yeah, that's what would. I have to live by the beach sometime in my life. I have to. Maybe it's like retirement. Like, hopefully I can get there before then. But, and I mean, I'm from Albuquerque, so my family's always like, why do you like the beach? And I'm like, how do you not like the beach? They're like, there's like sand and it's hot. And I'm like, oh my God.
Is it colder in Albuquerque than it is in Texas?
Yeah, not the last couple years. Well, yeah, on generally, yes. But
how about the heat? Is it hotter here than in Albuquerque?
It's drier, so.
It's drier here?
It's drier there. So it's not quite as hot. like it can get, it was definitely hotter here this summer for sure.
Because since we've been here, like I said, I lived in Hawaii, I lived in Florida.
This is the hottest I've ever seen it. Like this summer in 20 years, this is the hottest
This is
one
the
I've
hottest?
ever seen. Yes.
This is crazy.
For sure.
I
Like I
was
don't even have to think about it. Like this is the hottest one for sure.
Man, so
it got hot really early too. Like it usually doesn't hit till like late July, and then we all are like in August, like it's August, it's gonna be. And there was one year where it was over 100 for over 40 days.
Yeah.
That's the second hottest one, but
yeah.
it's not usually this hot, this crazy. And it usually rains in the summer. This year it's like it's just all saved for the end, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm like, what are we doing to the earth, guys? So.
Well, that's good. That's good that you're environmentally friendly, conscious.
Yeah.
You know, when I lived in Hawaii, I lived off grid on
nice.
solar. You know,
Earthship.
no electric company, no electric bill.
Yeah.
Power never went out. That was really, really cool.
Yeah.
You know, I did it for control and predictability more than sustainability. Not sustainability. I mean, like for the environment. But I just thought it was cool to be able to use the sun.
Oh yeah.
To power your house. And then before I moved there, I didn't know much about solar. I thought solar, you know, heats up your pool and there's like, but when I went there and I saw like big 6-7 bedroom houses that are on 100% solar, and they washing machine, stove, everything, they could use the sun. And I was like, this is really independent. I like being independent. I don't like relying on anybody that's gonna go up in price on me. So, but Amanda, I appreciate you talking to me about Halcyon.
Yeah.
Your journey, your team, your supporters, and I was gonna ask you, you want to plug anything, any events that you have here going on? Maybe, I think you have a karaoke night or something.
We have once a month we do a wine and succulents party, and I teach people how to plant a plant, and they get a flight of wine. So that's always really popular.
Really?
We show movies, but we have movies on Friday nights and trivia. People like a lot on Saturday nights. They like to come drink espresso martinis, and I mean, they're actually espresso martinis here with fresh espresso. You know, we have an espresso machine. It's not cold brew like most places. So coffee cocktails are a big good thing to get here.
Nice.
I just tell people to like check out Instagram and social media, because I'm trying to get better at the reels so the people see them still.
Yeah.
But
because you're in charge of that.
Yeah, I'm in charge of that among many other things. But
wouldn't you want to like give that to somebody that just could focus on that, or you just?
Yeah. I try to get my bar manager. I have her help me with it, but it's kind of like it's a tenacious thing. You got to keep with it over and over and over again, and then like we're always doing different things. So that's why it's like I do the wine and succulents once a month, and we have like the Friday night and Saturday night things. But then I've got like a ceramics workshop, and then a calligraphy one, and something else in there. I think there's a flower one. So those are more like during the busy season, once a month, or just with person.
Is it the same time every month? So once a month?
No, not those ones. It's just I think the ceramics lady's been like on Mondays, and then the sip and script is usually on a Wednesday.
And that's all on Instagram where I can see that and when the next event is?
Yeah, we put up all the movies we're going to show for the month.
Ooh.
And you never know like what kind of cool activity we might have going on. I let people approach me with their ideas, and then they sell the tickets and they keep all the money for that, and we just basically take $5 a person and give them a drink. So we're more like, I go for win-win, you know, like, yes, you can use the space, you bring people, they buy food and drink and have a good time, like it's a win-win scenario. So it's helping, like, you know, a lot of people that are just starting businesses or just starting workshops, like, get going, like so it's cool.
You know what? I just realized that, you know, who you are as a person and what you do in life, it kind of goes together. Like, you're like living your life all the time. Like here, when you're not here, it's all Amanda.
Yeah.
Like not most people, a lot of people that have jobs, they have to be this person at work. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then like they're a different person away from work.
I used to feel that at previous large corporations that I worked for. But yeah, it's definitely it's come together more for me. So that's why it's like I'm not in a hurry to leave or go somewhere else because I'm like, yeah, I have this place has helped me bridge that gap.
Well, you motivated me by talking to you because I want to incorporate what I do with my podcast in my life. I want it to be the same, you know. I want to enjoy everything. I don't want to just, you know, people are just maybe like it's Friday, so they're happy. You know, it's Monday, so they're not happy. You know, but if you like what you do and you put your all into whatever you're doing, then you know every day is.
Yeah. Well, it's like everybody has special gifts, so it's like how can your special gifts help the world, you know? And then like and then that's what you could do for a living.
So let me ask you this. Now I'm getting to know you better. Before you did this interview, because this is your first one. First of all, you seem very natural. So, were you nervous?
No, I think the air conditioner's just not working.
Okay,
well,
no.
it's not, but so I feel really hot. But
yeah.
No, I guess not because I'm in my space, you know.
I'm in your house.
Yeah.
I should be nervous.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
Or there's like not actually people watching us, you know, or anything. Like I don't feel like I'm on stage or anything.
To tell you the truth, when I walked in here and I saw everybody, I was like, because I thought we'd be off in the corner somewhere, but then I was like, I'm gonna have to sit up right here in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, but I felt like it was just us two.
I always enjoy like sitting down in different parts of my restaurant. And I'm like, oh, because it feels totally different when you sit down and are actually enjoying the space. And from like standing up, these chairs always look kind of weird. But yeah, like when you're sitting down in them, you're like, oh, it's not really weird. Like that table's not that close. And you know, we're having we're in our own little world here.
All right, Amanda. Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Your knowledge, your experience, and I'm looking forward to, you know, keep coming here and bringing my friends and family. When people come to visit me, this is where I bring them. Yeah. I'm going to introduce them to you, and I'm just going to come here. I mean,
I love it.
It's just a great place, and thank you for coming out. And
everybody,
I am Rodism Podcast. If you're looking for some great coffee, great people, come down to Halcyon in Dallas. Hit me up. And check out Instagram for Halcyon for the latest updates.
Halcyon Dallas.
Halcyon Dallas. There we go. All right, we're out. Peace.